Well, guys, we're getting very close to the end of Sony Pictures animation movies. We're getting to the end of me reviewing all of them. And I have some stuff I need to talk about before I start the review on Vivo. And that is, I have some unfortunate news. It's nothing like super serious, but I actually do not have access to the last two movies that I'm going to be reviewing. I don't. I don't have access to the new Spider-Man movie that came out last year on DVD, or the Garfield movie. I don't have access to any of that stuff. So yeah, I have a problem here, a big problem. Otherwise known, I'm in a very big pickle right now. Yes, so I'm gonna say right now, I might not be able to review them. I don't know. Well, I don't want to review. I wouldn't want to review the Garfield movie because technically, I was reviewing everything that was gonna come out that was already out when I started this review session. But I was gonna review the Garfield movie anyway because it was already out on DVD. That's kind of what I did with movies like Pixar, and then there was also not just Pixar, but also Illumination and all that, which are reviews I've done on movies and all that. I stopped after I got to the movies that already came out. But in this case, I might have to actually pull the plug on it. Yes, I know. Let me explain. I don't have access to the movies and all that, and they're on I think Netflix, but I don't have access to watching them. And we don't have Netflix anymore because they don't let us share the passcodes anymore. And I'd rather not, rent the movie out only to have to, buy it down the road anyway. So I just don't feel like there's a point of doing that. I mean, I'm gonna try to watch because I still have a couple more, weeks of, I can do this stuff in, but I kind of want to just move on after all this and all that. And all that, because I still have the DreamWorks reviews I want to do. And I could just review it later down the road, but I feel like I kind of want to just push the Sony ones off afterwards regardless, because there's probably going to be more coming out, because I'm not even halfway done with the DreamWorks movies, I think. I've got over half of them still to review. So I'll probably just stop the reviews on Sony after this. But I hope you guys can understand that I'd rather not have to pay to rent and pay, to watch a movie, because I'm just going to buy it down the road anyway. And all that. It's like you buy a physical copy instead of having to rent it and all that. It's just not worth it. It ain't worth it. So yeah, but I don't have access to the movie right now. I'm gonna try to get it, but I'm very low on cash right now, and I'm trying to save up for other stuff. But I think I might end up just not bother with the Garfield movie right now and just review it down the road. But anywho though, enough said about that. Let's go ahead and just get on to the actual video. And I do want to apologize for about that, but I do want to review them down the road at some point in time. So if I don't get to them now, I will get to them at some point in time. It just might take a little while. But anywho, let's go ahead and review Vivo. So we're going to talk about this movie called Vivo, that was another movie that came out in 2021 on Sony, which is actually kind of interesting because, that we're getting so many movies that came out in that year. There was actually going to be another movie too that was supposed to come out, I think, that year. I think it was. Or maybe I'm thinking of 2023. I don't remember. But it was like the fourth Hotel Transylvania movie. Because, yeah, they made a fourth one, too. Because that was a very popular franchise, But but it was supposed to come out that year. I think they pushed it back. I was thinking they pushed it back because of the pandemic. Because at that time, they were still kind of pushing things back. Because they even pushed the Mario movie back a bit, too. But then it basically, they just decided to put it to the next year. So I'm pretty sure it came out because it's actually next on this list. So it had to come out, in 2020, 22. So I'm guessing they pushed it back because of that, because they already had so many movies out that year. But I don't know. But this one did come out, this year and all that. So, well, I mean, the year I'm, we're showing up at the top there. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But I will say though, that this is a movie that actually a lot of people talked about when it first came out. Yeah, they talked about this movie when it first came out. I've heard a lot of mixed. I heard a lot of mixed like opinions on the movie and all that, but I know a lot of people have talked about it when it came out. So people were at least discussing it. But what do I think of this movie, though? Do I think it's good or bad or in the middle? I'm gonna say right now, I don't know. This movie is very just, I don't know. It's got things I like about it, and it's got things I hate about it. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the things I like about it. And that's the musical numbers. Yes, this movie is a musical number, It's a musical number and all that. It's kind of like, one of those Disney movies. Only they usually have, a lot of them I've watched have musical numbers in them, but they're every so often in the movie. This one's like constantly. So they constantly sing throughout the entire, movie. Yeah, I didn't know I was watching a Disney movie until I watched this. Even though it's technically not a Disney movie. It could have been Shrek the Musical, too. Because Shrek had a musical movie, too. I saw that a long time ago. I can't really say my opinion on it because I haven't seen it in a while. But what I remember is it's pretty much just a recreation of the first movie. Just like it's a musical where they added some stuff in there to make it more original. But we'll added some things to make it fresh, I should say. Because they're not trying to make it more original because they're trying to base it off of the first movie, but I think they gave Shrek a backstory and all that, but I don't remember much about it. But I will say that that's kind of what this one is too here. But I will say though, when I first watched this movie, I was definitely not a fan of it. I did not like this movie and all that, and I'll get to that in a second. But like I said, I do think the musical numbers are really good and all that. I think they're good. And all that. And I do like, they do have quite a bit of emotional moments in it. I do like that at the end and all that. And then kind of in between. But that's kind of where I feel like my praises for this movie kind of go downhill from here. I think this movie has got a lot of problems with it. A lot of problems with it. Why, one thing I want to say that this pissed me off and a lot of other people, but they actually killed off the old man. He died in his sleep. Yeah, he died in his sleep, which is ironic because he's a black person, and we had another black actor. I'm trying to remember what his name was. I don't remember his name. He played a role in Happy Gilmore. He was Chugs. He also died in his sleep too. They were both, they're both older people and all that. So, that's kind of sad if you think about it, that he passed away and all that. That's kind of what happened to this character too. And that's not really the problem I really have. I mean, they kill off characters all the time. They kill off characters all the time. So why is it such a big deal here? Well, it's a big deal because I feel like they could have done something different with this movie. Instead of having to focus on a child and all they do in a lot of other movies, I thought they could have actually done something a bit different here. Like, I feel like his whole goal dream was to go with Vivo to meet the girl of his dreams he loved but could never confess. And all that, and I mean, we get some emotional moments at the funeral and all that, and we get some emotional moments where he's trying, like, we're rooting for Vivo to go and and save his and save his friends his owner's the music sheet and all that, saving him and all that. We get stuff like that, which is nice and all that, but I think it would have been better off if this movie would have focused on him and the both of them as duos instead of focusing on the little girl. Maybe have her in the movie too, but not be exact, because it just feels like we're just getting a plot we see all the time throughout the movies where we have to have the younger character, meet up with another person and all that, and it just feels kind of like it's something we've seen dozens of times already. And I'm not saying that they can't do that, but I feel like they already had a direction they could have gone with the movie and all that. And I will admit, having this old man, in his sheet and all that Vivo's trying to get to the girl and all that in Florida, it's something pretty nice, but at the same time, again, I feel like they kind of ruined that direction and all that, Another thing I will say I don't like is, this is another thing I don't like, well, this is Hollywood in general anymore, is, why can't they just freaking make, hand-drawn animation again, or, not even hand-drawn, 2D animation, and all that, release it into the damn theaters or something. I don't know why they can't do that. Actually, I don't know if this movie ever released in theaters or not, I can't remember, but they have segments where in the musical numbers where they're actually in 2D. They're in 2D. So I'm just why can't we just have the whole movie look like that, I'm not saying that CGI looks bad or anything, but I'm just they could have easily just made this movie they probably could have made it 2D animation. Even the Columbia Pictures intro is also in 2D. Yes, it's in 2D as well. So I don't know why they couldn't just make the whole movie in 2D. I think that would have made more sense, I guess because it's Sony Pictures Animation and all that, and it's supposed to be a CGI thing, they can't do that. But I feel like that cut could have actually worked, because Pixar made Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, and all that. They have all their movies are CGI except for one, and they made it So I feel like they could have kind of done a little bit more experimented with that stuff. It would make it kind of look kind of weird and not stand out as well as the other movies. But I feel like they had the opportunity to kind of do it there, and they kind of just pushed it aside. Just states typical CGI like the other movies. And I will say it does look still really good, but I kind of wish it was just 2D animated. Fans out here are actually begging for them to make more 2D animated movies for the theaters, and they haven't really done that. They've sadly kind of have gone away with that. The last decade, they pretty much have had barely, there's been some that have been in the theaters, but we had Teen Titans Go to the movies and all that, things like that. I think some animes have been in the theaters, but most of them have been just CGI. And I feel like they could have done so much more if they just didn't do that. But I don't know. But that's the thing there. There's that. And then also, I feel like the little girl kind of screwing up crap. And she's kind of annoying throughout a lot of the movie and all that. She gets it better towards the end. But she's smugging and torturing, poor Vivo. She's not actually torturing him. But, when she's freaking abusing him and all that, being a crazy kid. Kids are like that. I've been like that when I was little, but still I kind of feel bad, for Vivo and all that. And then you got, where she keeps doing stupid stuff and screwing up crap. She screws up crap and all that, and it just makes her look annoying and all that. I just hate that, I hate that so much and all that. And I won't even say her musical number. I talked about the musical numbers. A lot of them are actually really good. Hers is probably one of the worst. She has a song and all that, and she's just freaking, instead of singing, she's shouting and all that, and that's a song they freaking choose to play 3 times throughout the movie. I'm not even kidding. We play it once, and I think they play it towards the end of the movie, and then they play it in the end credits too. They play this song 3 times, and it's not that good. It's probably one of the worst songs in the movie. not of all the time. I've heard plenty of really bad songs, but it's still freaking annoying to hear that. And then there's just a lot of crap I don't like. I mean, even the part where they go to when they get like stranded and all that in like a jungle or something and all that. And I will say it's just like it feels like it's out of nowhere and all that, but they're not really there that long. But still, I feel like it just feels like it's thrown in there out of nowhere to like make the movie longer. Like. I mean, movies like Princess and the Frog, and they got thrown in a jungle too, and all that. But that movie, I felt like the jungle had a purpose. This one felt like they just were thrown in a jungle just to make it last longer. I mean, we do have the Girl Scouts, we have them, and I will say they're probably a pretty interesting duo in the movie too, but. They're not that interesting and all that, and I just feel like that whole point where they go to the jungle feels pointless. We do get a giant snake and all that tries to attack them and all that. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Titanic boa. Like, it looks even bigger than a king snake. I think a king snake, I think, is the biggest snake, but it looks even bigger than that. It looks like the Titanic boa. If you guys don't know what the Titanic boa is, it's like a prehistoric snake and all that. It's pretty interesting. I've actually heard even found bigger ones than that. So I guess that's the thing with the world. You never know what will be out there. But even then, he's kind of only on screen for a few seconds and all that. Like again, like the whole jungle thing just felt pointless. Like they don't even see him again. He just disappears. Like I feel like they could have like done a lot more with that, and like instead of just kind of like again they have to have him flirt with them. Like they have to find him. Well, he has to help like a bird find a mate or something, or he'll just bury himself in the dirt. It just kind of feels so pointless and all that. Just. Like a lot of things in this movie kind of feel pointless, but I will say they get the note and all that, and I do like how it ends and all that. It's pretty nice, but I will have to say though, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say this movie is definitely meh, and it's definitely 51 points though. Yeah, there's a lot of moments in this movie where it feels like things drag and all that, and I do wish this movie was also, I feel like it could have been better if it was 2D animated and all that too. That's not really where the movie would have still been very good if it were CGI, but the fact is they don't focus on the old man. They have to have another movie focusing on a little kid and all that, or pairing up with an animal or something. Like, I feel like they could have just done so much more with this movie, so much more, but yeah, they could have done so much more with it. Instead, they have to kill the old man off and all that to focus on, a child and all that, which I felt like was like very unnecessary and all that, and then you get the whole jungle sequences and all that, but I have to say, though, there are some emotional moments that make me feel in this movie and all that. I mean, I am happy that Vivo does give the music to the lady and all that, and they do kind of make it work at the end, but like I said, a lot of this stuff just feels like it drags and all that, and call me crazy, but it feels like a lot of these characters feel like they're kind of drawn like from Illumination or something in a way. Like Illumination. I mean, Illumination. I guess technically they're like they do look a little bit more weird. Like their arms are a lot more like stick looking and all that, and their bodies are a bit bigger. But a lot of characters in this movie, their bodies just look like Despicable Me. Or Illumination in general looks where they look a little bit, off. I mean, heck, I'm gonna point this out. This is kind of something I wanted to point out here, but the senior lady, she said she's gonna retire and all that. That's why they wanted to go to Florida to see her. She's gonna retire, and he wanted to give her a chance. But the thing is though, is she's like, for some reason she gained a lot of weight. Like she really let herself go, but she still looks very young. Like her hair is still colored and all that. Like, but like she looks like she gained a lot of weight. Which I mean, when you're older, you gain weight, but it just feels kind of weird how she just gained a lot of weight, like she did, because usually women don't gain weight when they get older like men do, so I thought that was kind of funny and all that. Not funny, like, I'm not making fun of people, I just thought it was more strange than anything, but that's kind of the things like that. There's a lot of characters like that, like, are in the background, look kind of like that. It just kind of gives me Illumination vibes, because that's what Illumination did too. They did a lot of those too. Not just the women characters, but the male characters too. They also kind of look like they've kind of, like they look like they have they gained a bunch of weight, but they have like, stick figure arms and all that. That's just kind of how that is. But yeah, but I don't know. But this movie though, I think it's okay. It's not a movie I probably would want to watch again anytime soon, but it's not as bad as when I first watched it. When I first watched it, I just kind of felt like I just kind of was rolling my eyes and all that, because I watched it back around when it first came out, because I was at my dad's work and all that, and I watched it there and all that. Like while I was waiting, because I can't remember if I was going to his work because I was just hanging out up there because I was going through some serious depression too, which probably didn't help my like watching kind of this kind of stuff, because I was going through a serious depression, and not just because of COVID-19, but because of what I dealt with in school and all that. So I don't know, but I want to say, but I think this movie, it's definitely better than when I first watched it. But again, I don't think it's great. Like, I think they missed a few huge opportunities to focus on the old guy reuniting with his girlfriend and all that, rather than pairing Vivo up with a random kid and all that, and then the whole film being 2D animated. I think that would have been cool too. But I still think there's things I like about this movie and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably end up letting things go from here. I just wanted to kind of talk about this movie, because I have it on DVD. I actually had to order this movie because this movie was kind of hard to find, but I did find it. So I'm like wish track, and I was able to watch this movie. But I'm gonna go ahead and probably end up letting things go from here, though. So I don't have a comment question for this video, so I think that's pretty much it. Anywho, guys, I'll talk to you guys later, and hopefully I can get to the the other movie, which is DreamWorks, before this ends. I'm actually hoping I can just buy the Spider-Man movie too, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to buy it or not, because I have other things I'm wanting to get to, so I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.